Hadhrat Khalifatul Masih IV immediately returned to Rabwa. On the 26th of April 1984, Ordinance 20 was introduced under martial law by General Zia-ul-Haq. The ordinance was designed to prohibit Ahmadis from practicing their faith.
I immediately called a meeting of all the Ahmadi elders, whoever were available at the time, to reach Rabwa immediately. I stated before them the facts, the consequences of this ordinance. I told them that according to this ordinance, if I remain in Pakistan and declare myself to be a Muslim, immediately they would arrest me and put me behind the bar. So how can I remain a Khalifa of Jamaatul Ahmadiyya, Khalifatul Masih, and operative at the same time?
The advice at the meeting was unanimous. Huzur should leave Pakistan immediately. At that time, Usman Chu, a missionary of the community who had no idea of what was being planned, saw a dream.
मैंने 27 अप्रैल 1986 की सुबह का वक्त ख्वाब मैं ये देखा कि हुजूर इस्लामाबाद जाने वाले हैं और एक मिनी पास में जाएंगे जिसके इर्द गिर्द हुजूर के पहरेदार मौजूद हैं और जो सब के सब आसमानी रंग की यूनिफॉर्म पहनती हैं और इन पहरेदारों के इर्द गिर्द सरकारी पुलिस हैं। जब मैं इस पास के करीब आ गया, जब मैं इस पास के करीब गया तो मैंने हुजूर को नहीं दिखा और ये समझा कि हुजूर तो ऐब के तरीक इस्लामाबाद तशरीफ ली गए हैं और पास के अंदर तो सिर्फ कुछ सामान मौजूद हैं। फिर मैंने उसी पास में हुजूर की अलविदा कहने के लिए बैठ गया और पहरेदारों के साथ सफ़र करने लगा। कुछ सफ़र करके उधर किया और पहरेदारों ने मुझे कुछ फाल दिया। इस ख्वाब से मैं समझता हूँ चंद बातें जो मैंने हुजूर के खिदमत में पेश भी की थी। नंबर 1 ये है कि अल्लाह ताला जमात हुजूर हिफाजत फरमाएगा। नंबर 2 हुजूर सब के सब इनाम भी फरमाएगा और सब के सब नहायत ज़्यादा तरक्की भी देंगे इंशाअल्लाह ताला।
Unbelievable. That reassured me. I knew that with the grace of Allah, it's Allah's hand. He already has told us and forewarned us.
It was decided that Huzur would leave Pakistan by KLM. A messenger was sent to Karachi to do the booking instead of booking by telephone that could be tapped.
It was decided that I would leave on Sunday morning by car, and then we reached at about 10:30, reached Karachi, and after eating food and just a little rest, we left for the airport because the plane, I remember, left at 12:30. Now they told me to come late. Said there's no need for you to come early. They said exactly 5 minutes from the time of the departure of the plane, we will send our special car.
Everything seemed to be all right, and the manager assured that the flight would leave in time.
And the car came exactly 5 minutes before 12:30, and it was sent back.
The airport authorities, they stopped the flight from going on the scheduled time.
The order that I head of the Ahmadiyya community is not permitted to leave the country from any borders was signed by Zia himself. Ziaul Haq lived most of his time during the time of Hadhrat Khalifatul Masih Salis, the third caliph. So what he dictated was, and this is written on that prohibition letter, that Mirza Nasir Ahmed, the fourth head of the Ahmadiyya community, for that, is not permitted to leave the country from any borders. They had a dilemma. They could not stop Mirza Tahir Ahmed from going on. And they did not know much intricacies about the fourth and third caliphate, So they must have started ringing the intelligence chief of the intelligence bureau in Islamabad and trying to get clearance from him or instructions that this is the case. That is why this was delayed. So at 1:30 we left. The plane, of course, went to Geneva and from there on to Holland, and there we had to wait for a while. Then we came to London.
Around midday, Huzur arrived at Heathrow Airport, and by the grace of Allah, we had made all the arrangements, no problem, no difficulty, and the staff of the KLM on which the airline on which Huzur travelled, they were also available to receive Huzur.
Once in London, Hadhrat Khalifatul Masih could carry on his duties as the Khalifa. He, however, had to establish London as the new headquarters of the community.
He had a knack of making everybody feel extremely special. Whatever he wanted someone to do, he made them feel that they were capable of doing whatever that was.
He would find out what type of worker is he, and he would accordingly allot him the tasks. And he was very clear in his mind. He wanted the job to be done to the exact manner what he wanted to, and when that work is done, then he will praise him like anything.
और हौसला अफजाई की तो इंतहा थी. छोटा सा किसी ने काम किया तो उस पर इस तरह दाद देते थे कि आदमी शर्मिंदा होता था कि ये तो मैंने तो कुछ भी नहीं किया, और उसके नतीजे में फिर इंसान को एक और ताकत मिलती थी. मैं समझता हूँ कि असल में खलीफतुल मसीह की दुआ और रूहानी तवज्जो और हौसला अफजाई के नतीजे में एक ताकत मिलती थी, और वो जो उसने छोटा सा काम किया वो उससे कई गुना कर जाता था अगली दफ़ा. उस पर जब हौसला अफजाई उसे मिलती थी और दुआ और तवज्जो और शफकत, तो उससे फिर और आगे बढ़ता था.
And I think people just couldn't do enough. They were trying their best to fulfill whatever was the need of the moment.
Hazrat Mirza Tahir Ahmad was a visionary. He foresaw the progress of the community and the need for workers in every sphere of life in the coming decades.
This Waqf-e-Nau scheme he started on 3rd April 1987, and I'm surprised because in 1984 he left Pakistan in very difficult conditions. There was law against us, so he had to leave Pakistan. But within 3 years, he realized that Jamaat is now going to expand in much bigger scope. So for that he instructed Jamaat's the parents that they should offer their children even before the birth, and then train them accordingly so they become good वाक़फ़ीन ज़िंदगी.
हर मुल्क से जब वक्फ होंगे बच्चे तो उस मुल्क की ज़बान को भी समझते होंगे, उस मुल्क मिजाज को भी समझते होंगे. जब उस मुल्क में ये बच्चे वक्फ करके बड़े होंगे और काम करना शुरू करेंगे तो ये बहुत अच्छा काम कर सकते हैं. और ये बजाय इसके कि एक जगह से वक्फ होकर निकलें, ये सारी दुनिया में तंजीम की तौर पर इस तरह फैल जाए